Dobre Dean, everybody. Anneesa about Arend Feenster from Countryside Acres. We are back on the farm again. Now, the last time that I talked, we found out we had some big problems. We had sat down and explained exactly what we wanted to do here on the property. This involved our farm, our house, a storefront off the highway. One of the reasons we chose the property and chose the build site was exactly that, because there's a highway that's got a lot of traffic. We could, there's a break in the trees where from the highway you can see the farm. We would be able to build a storefront there and multiple other things. And that's one of the reasons we chose what we chose. In the meeting we had, we sat down, we discussed all that. We said exactly what our plans were, and they said, yep, go for it. We happened to find out on Wednesday, today is Saturday, we found out on Wednesday that indeed this will not be allowed. We will not be allowed to have a laneway there, a driveway, what we call, in order to get to our farm from the highway. So obviously that was very disappointing. And we now have to change our plans. But like always, farmers adapt, and we're used to things changing. Whether it's government or weather or climate or finance, plagues, whatever, farmers always have to adapt and change plans and keep going. We can't go backwards, we keep moving ahead, always. And so in this case we will do too. We will adapt. We are going to change the location of where we're going to build the house and keep going, build a house. We want to have a house done, and we want to have a shop done, and we want to get some fences up, and we want to get cattle. Look at this grass. Give you an idea, it comes way down here. There's some tall stuff here. I'm looking forward to that getting cut, making some bales. So one of the videos we just had at the Belarus dealer, the owner, Andre, has been extremely helpful to us. He's also tried to help us find a house, like a place that we could rent close by, so we don't have to drive. But at this point, I think we're not going to worry about that. We may just sleep here in a tent a few nights, and the rest of the time we'll drive from the city until the house is done. That'll be fine. He's also been trying to work on getting a tractor bought, so I think we're going to probably go ahead with that as well. Yeah, I'll explain that more in another video, but he's given us a pretty good deal and is really being extremely helpful. And this is something, I guess that's a different topic altogether, something we don't understand, how helpful and kind and generous the Russian people have been. It still strikes me, because I don't think you find that hospitality in Canada. And Canada is known as a nation of friendly, kind, hospitable people, and yet I'm blown away by how people treat us here, as if we're some kind of special. Like, we're not special, we're just normal people, just like you, and yet we're treated so kind. So thank you to all of you who have been supporting us and showing us kindness in one way or another, even through words, financial gifts, physical gifts. It's been great. It's been amazing. Thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. We all thank you. So we're going to change. We need to get a laneway from over here. That's our container we dropped off the other day. We got to bring a laneway in to this field somewhere. So we do not like living close to the edge. We want to be in the middle. And so we do not want to build a house close to that, because who knows what happens. Maybe they'll cut all the trees down and put a road here, then our house will be on the edge. So we're going to be putting it still in the middle. We'll probably plant some trees around it to give ourselves some shade and some peace and quiet. Anneesa's way out here somewhere, wandering through there. You can see her head, trying to find a good spot. Look how tall that grass is, guys. I know my wife isn't real tall, but still, that's tall grass. First step is stepping everything out. First step is stepping everything out. I didn't even mean that to happen. It just worked out so well. There, now you can see me. So I got all these human posts over here. I think Mama's at the kitchen sink right now. And these kids are all standing on a corner. We lost Wes though. Where's Wes? Stand up, buddy. The guy's sleeping on the job. What a guy. So there's a post, there's a post, there's a post, there's a post. Waylon's not doing anything. He's just standing there. And Mama's doing dishes right now. That's the house. Now from the house we go way over here, and we got Eli, he's standing at the corner of the laneway. So there's going to be some lawn in front of there. There's going to be a laneway. Now we got to make this laneway around and make it over there. We're going to make it a curved laneway as far as I know. Plans change all the time though, so like I said, you got to learn to adapt. You got to change. Something happens, you change. Something else happens, you change. You got to think on your feet and constantly be willing to adapt and try not to get super frustrated in the process.
In the door, I could have sworn I've seen your face before. So glad that you said hi, 'cause I was way too shy. What would have happened if you just had passed me by the night? We keep on drinking, keep on wishing for someone out there to hold. All those little
It's all mowed off. You can see the sticks here now. There's one just beside Wes, one over there. That's the boundaries of the house. The reason I go farther is because I got to put my boards in here to get perimeter. We're going to obviously dig the hole deeper than that so we have room to work. But it's going to be in here. I'm going to get my overalls off because it is pleasantly nice here. Get back to shorts. We'll slam the post in the ground a minute for the boards, the corner boards, get our lines set. And then we should be good to go. It's Saturday afternoon right now. We were supposed to be digging on Monday. Unfortunately, I had to cancel the guy because I don't really know what's going on right now. We have a government appointment on Monday to try to figure out that, just to make sure. Because like I said, we did our due diligence and we received the permissions, at least we thought we did, for everything that we wanted to do. But now that's suddenly changed. And so we are kind of scared maybe other stuff has changed. So Monday, hopefully that will be determined and we will know for certain that we are indeed allowed to build our house here and our shop here and our, not shop as in magazine, shop as in workshop, barn, fences, greenhouses, all the stuff that we want to do. So, but in that meantime, I still got to get ready. You can't just sit down because Tuesday morning comes pretty quick and I got nothing ready. So I hope we're not going to be disappointed in all this work today is a waste again, like all the work it was over there, because I already had everything set up way over there where we were going to build. But such is life, and you have to adapt, like I said. So we'll get this ready to go. Hopefully everything will be good, and Tuesday morning we'll start digging. And I don't know how long it's going to take. I had them booked for 5 days initially, not just for this. I got a few other things I wanted to do around here as well. I'm supposed to be coming with an excavator. Again, I didn't do it. I didn't rent it. I got another guy to do it. So hopefully he shows up with the right equipment and then we can get this done. A big fire today. I don't know what's burning. Somebody's got something lit on fire. It's a lot of black smoke. Hopefully everybody's all right. That's always a concern when you see fires. I don't know what the custom is around here, but where we're from, we would get in the van and go have a look, see what's going on there. And that's not just because we're nosy, it's just friendly, it's neighborly. That would be a neighbor of ours on another farm, potentially, who might be losing his barn and needs help getting cattle out of the barn or wherever else. And so it's quite normal if there's a fire, for a bunch of neighbors to start driving around, making sure everybody's okay. In this case, we're going to leave it. That is quite a ways away, and I have no idea how we even get there. This is the knockoff Makita. This is not a real Makita. It says Makita on it somewhere. Actually, it doesn't. Oh, right here. It does say Makita, but it doesn't have any official serial numbers or anything from Makita. This is a Chinese knockoff Makita. Now, I've already used a couple of these tools, a little chainsaw and stuff. This is the first time using the saw. We just bought a blade today. What I added on the end, this was kind of neat. I found this on Ozone. These are, it doesn't come this way. Hang on. All right, it comes like this, very recognizable, and you slip a battery on here. What I bought here is a way to attach two batteries. I have two 9-volt batteries hooked up to this device, and then they all clip on together. The main reason for that is because cordless batteries only last so long. So this should last an incredibly long time because I got 18 amp hours worth of batteries on this saw. This is an incredibly small saw though. It's only a, what do they call this, 125 millimeter blade. In English, that would be like 5 inches-ish. It's a very small blade. But it should do the job. You can see there's not much depth of cut out there at all, but it will work. Thing weighs about as much as you do, right? You could tuck this one up underneath your arm, maybe.
I don't want to get myself on the shoulder or on the armpit.
It's not gonna hurt your armpit.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Now try to hit it harder. You can try it too, Eli? Watch your feet, buddy. You're dragging the cord.
Oh.
You're not. Ooh. It's a good thing I got my safety shoes on. Russian style. I got my safety boots. a good update on the farm. We now have 2 animals on the farm. The other day we brought a cow here and lost it. A little toy cow that Finley was carrying around. That was before we owned the place. We actually brought our first cow here. Maddie? Oh, Maddie, my bad. It wasn't Finny. Oh, look, now she's crying about it. Now today, apparently we brought a horse to the farm and it is lost somewhere in the grass. It's got lots to eat. It won't go hungry, folks. Don't be alarmed. It will be okay over here for a very long time, and we probably will never find it back. But if we still YouTube in 20 years, and in the next 20 years you're still following this channel, and you happen to notice that we find a toy horse, this is the day it was lost. The other update is I got everything laid out. So the batter boards are up, the string lines are up. We are ready to dig a hole. Again, this is kind of an approximate, well, it's actually squared up the way I want it, but it's basically just to give us an idea of where we're digging the hole. Once the hole is dug, then we're going to have to lay it out again to make sure we actually build the building properly. It is a beautiful little evening here. I have no idea what time it is. This time of year in the Northern Hemisphere, it is always hard, I find, to know what time is supper time. When your belly starts growling, then it's time to eat. Because it stays daylight out till like 10 o'clock at night. It's so hard to know. In any case, this is our vegetable garden. This is where we were going to build the house. Then we changed it to over here for a better view. And now we are way over there with the house. The garden is actually growing. Look at this. This here, I believe, is a little zucchini plant, if I'm correct. Cucumber. Ah, I'm not correct. There's a cucumber plant. Look, here's something growing here. What's this one? Cucumber tea?
That might be a zucchini.
Oh, this one might be a zucchini. It's up though. Here we've got a bunch more plants of some kind. These look like peas. I think that's peas, maybe. There's another row. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting, Mama? There's food. There's food in your garden, in Russia of all places. Did you ever once consider you might have a vegetable garden in Russia?
No.
Russia.
Never.
Niet? No.
Never thought of it.
And now?
It's nice here.
You think vegetables will grow the same here?
I think so.
Or do you think they'll come out with an accent?
The climate's about the same, so.
True. You don't think there'll be an accent?
No.
Or they'll wear little fur hats on the zucchinis to keep themselves warm?
No.
No way. Look at this. Look at this wonderful stuff. These are rows of beans. You see them all? Oh, life is good. Look at them all. There's a whole bunch of rows. And of course we got the flowers. They planted flowers the other day. These are all flowers? Yes, eh? Oh, these are the smelly kind to keep the bugs away, correct?
I think so.
You think so? You're not sure? Is it working? Is there any bugs? No? Well, then maybe it's working. We even have little beauties growing in the garden. Hi. You were grumpy 5 minutes ago, but now you're better. Is it because of the flower? That's a flower. Don't touch. Don't
pick
touch.
it.
We want everybody to be able to enjoy it, not just you. Is it nice? Yeah, she wants to enjoy it too. Wonderful, Maddie. Wonderful. Just putting a little bit of water on. We brought a little bit with us. We obviously don't have water here. Although the ground is still okay, I think. It's not that dried out. Oh, it is a little hard on the pan.
I want plastic.
Yeah, it is a little hard.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead and explain that to folks. What do you want?
Well, this is one reason that we did silage plastic on the garden. Because when you have drier climate, it keeps moisture.
Keeps the moisture in.
Yeah, so I definitely notice a difference here because it's a lot drier.
It's dry. Yeah.
So I'm hoping everything still goes. It's wet down underneath, but it's not up where the roots are. So hopefully it works.
I think so. So that's the interesting thing. Some people are like, stop comparing to Canada. You don't live there anymore. Well, that's silly because we lived there our whole life. Of course we're going to compare because that's what we're familiar with. That doesn't mean that we miss it. That doesn't mean we're planning on moving back. That doesn't mean Canada's better. It's just comparing because that just makes sense. Why wouldn't you do that? So we've lived in various places in Canada. We started with the plastic on our gardens while we lived in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan in many ways is similar to this, I think. Very similar, and it's also farther north. Most of Ontario well, most of the places in Ontario where people live are way south of this. Latitude-wise, I think it's similar to Krasnodar, if you can believe that. Here in Russia, we are extremely far north. And in Nipawin, Saskatchewan, if you're from there, hello, shout out to Nipawin, we were quite a bit north as well. Not this far, but quite a ways north. And so it's similar, latitude-wise, climate-wise. But we're still surprised. We didn't know what to expect here in Russia. And so we're kind of saying now it's dry. The air seems drier. We don't seem to get a lot of rain. It's kind of like Saskatchewan. And so keeping moisture in the garden obviously is super important. Look at that line running through. I think that's just from the sunshine. Whoop, there we go. Keeping moisture in the ground is very important. So by laying a sheet of plastic out, which is what we did, we'd cover most of the garden in plastic. Then we'd cut holes in it, kind of like she did here. But we literally use silage plastic that stretches, it would stretch over the whole garden. And then we put holes in it and we plant plants in these holes. So she did that here as well. She seeded. Typically we start the plants first, but we didn't have time this year. We would start them first, kind of like these guys, and then plant them in the holes. But this year we just didn't have time for that. And also it's great, a couple of reasons. Farther north that you live farther north, it's also cooler and there's more risk of frost. So when you have plastic on there, it warms up the ground and it keeps the ground warmer sooner so you can grow faster. We had our garden in Saskatchewan in way before anybody else did, and we had luscious, beautiful veggies growing before other people did. So it takes a little bit of edge off the springtime, a little bit of worry. You still have frost concerns, of course, but the ground warms up faster with black plastic. Then keeping the moisture in, it didn't matter if we had a dry spell or not. We didn't have to water as much because under that plastic, it actually stayed nice and moist. And probably in some ways attracted moisture out of the ground to the bottom of the plastic. So that helps things grow as well. Then thirdly is weed control. In a garden like this, you're going to have a lot of weeds. Everybody knows that. That's the drawback to gardening. And it's one thing I hate doing, and I know Anneesa doesn't like it either, is weeding. Who's got time for that, especially in a busy summer when you're already busy? Or let's say you go away to visit family for a week, you come back and suddenly you're behind on your garden. You put plastic over the whole garden, you don't have to worry about that because there's no weeds. All you have is these little holes. This is the only weeding you need to do. And once your plant comes up, let's say it's a tomato plant, you get it fully canopied, there's no more weed growth. It's done. And you never have weeds in the whole garden. Fourth, the last thing, plastic gardening, the last one, is that it kills everything else. It gets nice and warm down underneath. All a seed needs to grow is heat and water. It does not need sunshine. Once the plant starts to grow, the seed sprouts, it comes up above, then it needs sunlight for photosynthesis. I don't know how this all translates into Russian, but for the English people, you'll understand. You need photosynthesis for a plant to grow. And because it's growing underneath the plastic, they can all grow, the seeds. The plant comes up underneath the plastic. It can't get any sunshine, and it kills itself off. In other words, after the plastic's been laying down in an area for a year, there's no more stuff growing. All those seeds that are at the top have already grown, have already sprouted and died, and have not been able to reseed themselves. Now, if you rototill that section, you may bring up other dormant seeds and they may grow again the next year. But we have found that after laying plastic in one area of the garden for a period of time, like 1 year, we can then move that plastic to another area of the garden, and that is more or less weed-free for the next year, which is really cool. So there's 4 great reasons why you should consider gardening in silage plastic. This year we can't show you that. We will show you that next year. Apparently I'm in the garden. I'm getting waved out. Get out of here, she says. I'm just tromping around. I'm a big guy. I get to walk where I want to walk. Anyway, that's 4 reasons why you should plastic garden and why she loves plastic garden. We've just become addicted to it. We're not doing it this year, so you don't get to see it, but next year we will show you how we garden in plastic. Actually, I'm thinking of maybe doing it differently, but it'll still be plastic.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your only get worse.